Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Future Jobs Podcast. I'm your host Fahad Jobswala, and today we have a truly inspiring guest whose journey beautifully bridges the worlds of business, wellness, and personal transformation. Cheryl Thibault is a renowned entrepreneur, speaker, and transformed coach from building a highly successful career in the beauty industry to creating her signature program, Align Essence. Cheryl has dedicated her life to helping others heal from burnout, reconnect with their authentic selves, and align their personal and professional lives with purpose. In this conversation, we'll explore Cheryl's incredible journey, her insights on leadership, wellness, and mindful growth, how she envisions the future of work, where authenticity, balance, and human connection matter just as much as success. So get ready for a powerful and thought-provoking conversation with Cheryl Thibault. So, hey Cheryl, how are you? And welcome to the podcast.
Hi, I'm good. Thank you for this opportunity.
So, how have you been?
Good, really good. It's beautiful weather here, so you can't complain when the sun is shining. Thank you.
Wonderful. So, could you tell us what is your story?
What is my story? Is that what you said? Starting from
Yeah.
when? Starting from when? Oh boy. Well, my journey into the beauty industry started probably when I was around 12, and I used to paint my dog's toenails purple. So that kind of started everything. And then ran into some life challenges, of course, and became a single mom very young. And needing to support my kids, I had to go to school and complete an education. So I had to travel 400 miles away from my family to go to school because there was no school for, I went into the beauty industry and there was no school where I lived. So I had to travel and, of course, live there. So I left my kids with my parents and went off to school. And um, from there, I got my degree in the beauty industry, and I came back to my hometown and started working. And about 2 years into that, I realized I should start a school because other people have to leave, maybe their families too. So I started a school, and I was the first one in my province to, because we're from Canada, to have a beauty school that didn't include hair. We just did aesthetics and nails, and that's how it started. So from there to now, I think I've opened 28 salons and spas across Western Canada, and I've co-authored a few books. That four went number one bestseller. And I wrote a book on, it's called Career in the Beauty Industry. I don't even have one to show you. I should have had one on hand, but Career in the Beauty Industry, Discover If It's For You. And it's a book outlining all of the jobs in the beauty industry, and from hairdressing to makeup artistry, over the counter sales in the drugstore. We covered every topic, I think 17 job roles. So people who are looking for a career in the beauty industry can pick up this book. It's available on Amazon. And it just gives them a walkthrough from 17 different professionals. Actually, I interviewed the 17 people that wrote the chapters in the book. They're all industry leaders from across the world, um, even pioneers that actually started the first artificial nail ever in the 70s. They wrote a chapter in my book. So it's over 400 years of combined experience that we're bringing to the table in this book. So it's incredible. One of the hairdressers started doing hair for 25 cents when she first started, and when she said hung up her shears, her scissors, she was charging $500 a haircut. So there's some pretty interesting stories in that book. And then since then, I sold the school. I had a school and I sold the school last year. In 2006, I was in an accident and ended up having to be in a wheelchair for almost a year. So I couldn't do most of my work. So what I did was I sat at the table and I designed a program to teach people how to do nails on a mechanical hand, a plastic hand. And we were the first school to ever teach online in the beauty industry. And then when COVID hit and the schools all shut down all over the world, mine was the only one that never shut down because I was 100% online by then. And we went global during that time. So it really expanded. And then I sold it last year. So I'm no longer teaching. I sold the school and I sold the spa and I kind of retired a little bit. I took off to Mexico for 6 months, and that's where Aligned Essence came to be. I'm now doing wellness retreats in Bucerias, Mexico. So it's for, overcoming burnout and self care. And a lot of times in our industry, we give, 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 and never take anything for ourselves. So it's for people to really think, care about yourself. So anyway, that's a long-winded version. So yeah, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any.
Your journey is super inspiring, Cheryl. Like it's super duper inspiring. So can I ask the reason why you sold the school? Was that accident behind that selling that?
Sorry, you're breaking up a little bit. You want to know the reason I sold the school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been in the industry 44 years. So that's a long time. And I was just, my time had come and it was just time for me to explore a new avenue. And timing was right. Everything lined up. So I just, I just pursued a different venture and I couldn't do both because it was just, a lot of work owning a school. It's a lot of work. So I sold it. Yeah.
Okay. So Cheryl, your journey spans from building success in the beauty industry to becoming a transformational coach. How do you see these worlds merging in the future of work?
Well, a lot of people are actually needing coaches now. Before we used to go to seminars and we used to do all that and we would all, just pay to sit and listen to Tony Robbins or if you could get in to see him or someone like that. A lot of people now are wanting more one-on-one and they're wanting a lot more individual help instead of just sitting down and having, one speaker talk to thousands of people. They're wanting, what do I need to do? How can I change? How can I take this and make it that? And so it's just throughout my career, I've been coaching for 40 years these people because when you get a student enrolled, you are their coach. Even though they're your teacher, you're still their coach because you have to guide them, through their school journey. And then a lot of them get started and they come back and ask for help, right? So you're indirectly you're coaching them forever. So now it's just more one-on-one. And because I don't have them as students anymore, we have them as business coaches because I've started so many businesses. We coach in business and we coach in mostly business. I don't do a lot of life coaching at all for their personal growth through business, but that's not my forte is the life coaching. It's mostly business and career.
Okay, nice. So Cheryl, did you started anything else before starting the before getting into the beauty industry?
No, I was 19 years old. So I started just right into that. And just other than, odd jobs here and there to try to make some money to pay my way through school, I was doing direct sales as I could to do home party sales and stuff like that way back when that was popular. And that is how I earned enough money to go to school. But after that, my career's been 40 some years in the beauty industry. So, yeah.
So mostly the things we like to become, the professions we like to convey when we get, older. That, like, I'm talking about the dreams we have as a um young kid. So did you what kind of interests did you have when you were a younger?
Oh boy. Well, um, the story actually starts. I was babysitting, and my friend was babysitting with me, and I think we were 12, maybe 11 years old, and we were talking about what we're going to do when we grow up. And I said, well, you know what? I think I'm going to be in the beauty industry, but I'm not going to be a hairdresser. I don't want to do hair. And I said, I think I want to do makeup and nails. And there it was. That's how it started, and it just carried on. And it's just always been a passion for me to do that. And that's pretty much how. And once I was in, just stayed in. So I mean, I've got a lot of extra training along the 40 years. I didn't just stop with my one diploma. I took, I probably have 50 or 60 certificates in different things, maybe even more. I don't even know. But once a learner, always a learner. I'm still learning. I'm still going to school and learning. And even last year I took some courses in AI just to see, how that could help me with what I'm doing. So, there's always things to learn. And then getting into, the coaching and the self-development, and I really took a passion for energy work and bioenergetics with the body, and energy medicine and healing and that kind of thing. So I'm leaning towards that as well, and that's part of my retreat. Is we are doing a lot of healing and a lot of energy work at these. So I'm kind of leading into that right now. So never stop learning is my key.
That's a wonderful key. So how do you see the beauty industry nowadays? Because it industries, the careers are changing. The things we could see before, the previous years. Now they're completely changed because of AI and because of some other reasons as well. So how do you see the beauty industry now?
A lot of it's changing, that's for sure. Um, Product wise, it's changed so many changes. Gosh, maybe 10 years ago, we would go to a trade show and there would be, you know, a handful of suppliers that actually sold professional nail products. And last year, I went to another trade show, and there was probably 100, if not more, suppliers selling nail products. So the market now is flooded with so many choices, right? To do that. And in 1992, I think I started with manufacturing and marketing my own brand called Spa One, and we created this brand for our students because you know being that we could make it, we were able to provide training kits a little less expensive than buying from another supplier. So we started that in that year, and now I've expanded that into makeup and a skincare line. So we have our own organic skincare line and makeup line, as well as the nail products. But like I was saying, the nail product market is just flooded. A lot are coming in from overseas, and we can't match their prices in Canada anymore. So it's really taken a big hit for us for sure. Um, so there's that, and still in the industry, you still need hands on. In our industry, you will always need your haircut, and people, even though they can now do their own nails if they want to, and the products available for that, a lot of them still like to go and have their nails done. A lot of them aren't inclined to do their own nails. They make a mess, so they want to go have them done. But even, massage your body. We're sitting now more than ever, and your body just doesn't exercise like it used to, and so you get stiff and jarred up, and you can't give yourself a massage. So there'll always be the hands-on that people will always need, for sure. That part hasn't changed. But the products have definitely changed. So there's both ends of that, good and bad, right?
Like so many changes.
Yeah, yeah. But you'll always need personal touch. I mean, like I was saying, you can't massage your own back. It's impossible. So, you'll always need to have those services done. Yeah.
Exactly. So burnout has become a silent epidemic in today's workforce. What do you believe organizations must do differently to create healthier, more sustainable environments for employees?
Wow. You're right. It has become a big thing. Oh, well, I live in Canada and I live in British Columbia, and it's very expensive here. So a lot of people cannot sustain their mortgage or their lifestyle on one income, right, on their own. So a lot of people take on two, sometimes three jobs, and that's the way it is here. I don't know. I know other places it's not as expensive, but here it is. So it's really tough for them to not get burnt out when you've got that happening. And a lot of people, like I was a single mom, and there was times that I worked 16 hours a day for a very long time, 7 days a week because of that. And burnout is definitely part of it, and especially when you've got to look after your kids, and you don't have a partner to help you. So a lot of it is where we're going with the retreat is self-care, learning when to step back and say, you know what, I've had enough. I need a break, and a lot of people in our industry don't do that. There was even a time I remember when I was just working so much, I never stopped for lunch, and my clients would actually come in, and while I was filing their nails, they would feed me across the table because I just kept working, right? So that's really bad. Um, a lot of employers, I don't know. I don't know what they do because I've never I've never been employed by anybody, right? So for that, I think it's more a self-directed thing where you just really need to take a step back and say, I've had enough. I need a rest, and go and get a massage and go and do something for yourself and just pause. Take some time in silence, do some meditation, some breathing, and just pause. Um, Maybe the big corporate companies offer stuff. I've heard that a lot of them have, a gym in their facility where you can go and work out and that kind of thing, which is important, of course. But I don't know how else to answer that for you. Sorry.
Um, your answer is, you know, to the point, and it is really important to take care of yourself as well. We mostly forget ourselves, because of the workload. The work has to be on its place, but we have a body which is a natural body and which requires a treatment, which requires a love, a care. So if we don't spend time for that, we can get we can be in a very, you know, like our body can get damaged and such thing.
Mhm. Yes, for sure. And I've started to do yoga at my old age and stretching and loosening up, and a lot of breath work goes along with that, where breath work is just so important, and deep breathing and just learning how to your breath is your life, and so that's what I'm learning now with what I'm moving into, and actually relaxes you. It helps you sleep better, which is really important too, and just a lot of looking self-care. Yeah.
Exactly. So This, especially this era is very like a sensitive era where we are too much in the computers and in mobile phones. We don't take care of ourselves. Sometimes it's workload, sometimes it's these accessories. You know, AI has, made the things more, even more, dangerous for us. So, can you give us some tips for boys and girls both to how we can take care of our body, of our skin daily?
Well, it all goes back to, the self-care, a hygiene for sure. I mean, daily showers and everything, and make sure you're using products along the organic line as much as you can, because a lot of chemicals absorb into our bodies through our skin, right? And over time, they become toxic, so it's really important that you have a great soap line that doesn't have a lot of chemicals in it. And of course skincare for there's a lot of men that are actually now doing facials and looking after their skin, where before they just used to jump in the shower and soap up and stuff. But now we actually have a men's skincare line. It's men's skin is different than women's because we don't shave our face, and their skin is rougher, so they need a different product. So a lot of them are actually now going into some skincare, and like I was saying, as organic as possible if you want to do that. And even your hair and your shampoos and everything, you should just go along that line. But daily care for sure. You need to look after your body. Hmm.
Exactly. It's for boys and girls both.
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
Um, you speak often about alignment. How do you see alignment between personal purpose and professional roles shaping the jobs of tomorrow?
Okay. I heard alignment and then you broke up a little. Can you re-ask me that?
Oh, sorry for that.
It's okay.
So the complete question was you speak often about alignment. How do you see alignment between personal purpose and professional roles shaping the jobs of tomorrow?
Hmm. That's you ask really good questions. Um, well, I've come to the belief that you really should follow your passion. If you are not aligned with what you want or your purpose, you're not going to be happy. And when you're not happy, all kinds of things happen. Like you can create disease in your body just from your thoughts and your attitude. And when you wake up unhappy, you go to bed unhappy, you get up dreading, I don't want to go to work today. I can't stand that person I work with. Oh, I hate my job. I have to drive through this traffic and everything. And all of that builds toxins in your body. So there's not really any kind of alignment there. That's totally misaligned. And when you're not following what makes you happy every day, I think that's the cause that most people have disease set into their bodies, right? So um, to me, the alignment is following your purpose and finding joy in everything you do. And if you don't like that job, get another one. You shouldn't wake up unhappy every day. You should wake up happy every morning and make your day filled with that. So I think that's where alignment needs to be, is on that.
Exactly. Being happy is really, really important.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. What I was taught from one of my coaches and one of my teachers was, she said, you can eat your broccoli and hate it, and you're going to build negative. It actually changes your blood to an alkaline, which is toxic, right? Or an acid. I mean, you're better off to eat the cake and love it than to eat the broccoli and hate it, because it's not the cake or the broccoli that's defining your energy and your being. It's the actual what it does in your thought process and how you process the thought of it. So sometimes it's healthier to eat the cake, which sounds funny, but makes sense when you look at it from an energetic side, and how it affects you.
exactly. We can also put it on that way. Um, Eating poison with love can 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 be harmful, but eating medicines with you know with hate or such can be in your favor.
Well, our minds are very powerful, right? And what we think about, we get. And when you think about being not happy, it changes your whole life, right? So yeah.
Exactly. So the beauty and wellness industry is evolving rapidly. What future jobs or opportunities do you foresee emerging in this space that most people aren't noticing yet?
In my industry, a lot is going more now into the medical side of the beauty, where a lot of people are getting injections. They're getting Botox and they're getting fillers, and mostly medical. A lot of laser is coming out now. They've had laser hair removal for a while, but now they've got laser for your skin. They've got laser for your veins. I mean, it's really going that way. We still have the simple things like a simple manicure. People will always like to have their nails done, but in our industry, it's rapidly growing with medical aesthetics for sure. Yeah.
Exactly. Um, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you emphasize authenticity. How can people show up authentically in careers where they feel pressure to fit into rigid systems or expectations?
Oh, I guess that's a lot of mind prep. You really have to know what you're getting into for sure. Yeah, I don't know how to answer that. I'm a big advocate for really following your passion and just falling into place with what you love instead of having to force yourself into something. So I don't think I could ever do a job that I didn't like and have to change who I am and what I am as a person to fit into a role. Like I said, I did study some AI, and I actually thought, oh, maybe I'll be, going into that. And I just, when I got into it, I thought, no, I am not a technical person at all. And although I learned what I learned, and I now know a little bit more about the future in that area and what's happening, and I did it mostly for videos and how to make stuff that pertain to my industry. And then I thought, there is no way that I could ever force myself to love technology enough to get a job in that. And that alone creates anxiety and it creates stress. So you can't you can, I guess you can force yourself into it, but my question is why? Why would you, and change who you are for that? I don't know if I've answered what you asked me properly because I wasn't quite sure where to go with that, but if I didn't ask it again differently, maybe I have a different opinion. But
We all have different kind of opinions for things. So your answer really resonates with that. So there's a fun question, like if AI gets involved in a salon or in a spa. So how a salon or spa would look like?
with AI, again,
Yes.
um, in my industry, of course, like I was saying, it's all personal touch. So even, if AI became a robot, I can't see it giving you a massage. But I mean, who knows? It might one day. I don't know. But aside from that, AI in a salon is used a lot now with our booking procedures, right? Where we can have everything's done online, so a lot of it is streamlined. It answers the phone. It'll sort out your appointments and that kind of thing. So a lot of it again is more technology than anything else. So it streamlines that a lot, um, much faster for sure, but I can't see it going past that.
Isn't it dangerous, allowing robots and salon, like they can maybe harm people while massaging or doing stuff which
I would think so.
humans do? Yeah,
I would think
like it's
so. Yeah.
horrible to think.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't see it, but I mean, you never know where the future's going. It's changing quickly. So you never know.
Exactly.
Mm.
Um, what advice would you give to young professionals entering the job market today who want to avoid burnout and instead building a career aligned with their essence?
Well, again, back to my opinion is find something you like doing. Find something that is in your scope of your passion. And, when you do something you love, you don't find that you're burnt out unless you overdo it, which I truly did. I overdid it. And, it's easy to do because I loved my work so much. I didn't find that it was that until it actually hit me and I realized, oh, Cheryl, you've been working 7 years without a day off. You need at least a day. So you just don't realize that you're actually in the phase of burnout until you're there. So again, a lot of it is just taking time for yourself, but finding the job that resonates with you for sure. If you're into technology, make that your passion. If you're into, fixing cars, make that your passion and you'll love it forever. But if you do something you don't like, you'll just destroy yourself quickly. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Um, Looking back at your career journey, what skills, qualities do you wish you had developed earlier that are now critical for the future of jobs?
Mhm. Well, for sure, technology. I probably should have learned a little bit more about that. But then I hired people to do that for me because, you need to know. I probably should have spent more time in my social media and learning more on how to market through there because that's really big right now. The industry is totally changing into social selling, promoting online and even, makeup and skincare is being sold online by affiliates and I'm actually putting my brand, locally. We're putting it out there to be sold through affiliate marketing as well. So I am learning that now at this age, but I probably should have expanded in that when it first started. And then I wouldn't have to be cramming it in at this stage. But yeah, I think more marketing and social media for me for sure.
Great.
It seems like my little granddaughter knows more about how to use the iPhone than I do. you know? So whenever
Yeah,
I have a
exactly.
question, I just have to ask her. So yeah.
Yeah, the young people, it seems like they've, like, by birth, they know about all this stuff, they adopt these things very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Finally, if we fast forward 25 years, what do you believe work will truly look like and feel like? And what role will human essence play in shaping that future?
25 years from now. Oh, I don't even know if I'm going to be alive in 25 years from now. Um, Boy, oh boy. Well, I pretty much feel that a lot of technology is going to be taking over for sure. Um, in every industry, for sure. Like we can see that coming now, with the expanding and when I started, we didn't even have, we didn't even have cell phones, right? We didn't even have internet back then. Everything was done in paper and print and phone book and newspaper and everything. So, even the advancements over the last 20 years since we've gotten, I into the internet and my first computer, oh my god, it's hilarious. And now we have more in our phone than a computer can hold, right? It's just crazy how it's grown from when I started. So in 25 years from now, I can't even imagine. I'm sure even looking at you on this computer screen, we'll probably have so much more. Maybe we'll have a computer in our eyes, or we just look the other way and we turn the page. I mean, who knows where it's going to go, right? It could be that big, but yeah, I'd hate to think of being massaged from a robot, but it could happen. It could happen. Actually, there's machines right now that you can put your hand into and they paint your fingernails for you. So, I mean, it's starting. So, I don't know, 25 years. That's a big thought. I never thought that far ahead, to tell you the truth. So, I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to think about that. Where do you see it? I'll pop that one back at you. What do you think?
Um, what I think it's like, it's just horrible. The changings we see in this year, within this year, we didn't have ChatGPT or these main AI tools before, and the results are in the front of all of us. ChatGPT is making terrible results. Um, then we have the another AI tool in the competition with ChatGPT, which China has launched. I just forgot the name. Um, it is also very great. So, yeah, obviously there will be robots, there will be electronic machines that will be more advanced than what we have today. So, yeah, and that is really correct what you were saying. Maybe we have computers in our eyes, which Meta AI has already launched that
Oh,
glasses.
really?
Yeah,
Hmm. I didn't know that. That's crazy. But I mean, it can happen. And the problem too that I see a lot with AI and what's happening is it's causing us to not have to think. We're allowing something to think for us, and that can be quite dangerous down the road. When something happens and you don't know how to think, you have to rely on a robot to make your decision for you. Yeah.
exactly. Maybe you've heard about that news. A 16-year-old boy committed suicide because of the over usage of ChatGPT.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Um,
it's very recent, maybe 1 week ago.
I didn't hear that. Wow. Yeah. Well, you never know, right? What
Exactly.
goes on? Hmm.
So thank you so much, Cheryl Thibault, for giving me your precious and valuable time for this amazing conversation. And the conversation was super natural, and it still feels like it. The topics were really to the point. The things we are seeing now, and it's really important to think about what can happen in the upcoming future, or how we can contribute with this, to make this world a better place. So thank you so much, Cheryl. And it was all about that. Thanks, guys, for joining us for today's conversation. And inshallah, meet you soon with another amazing podcast, with another amazing guest. Till then, stay peace and take care of yourself. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
It was an honor.
Okay.